Hello, hello, and welcome back. We are on episode 14 of the show, and I am going to share with you some of my AI magic that I'm actually working on with a client. So it's kind of a behind the scenes on how do I get the prompts, the images, and the creation of these incredible images. So I'm super excited to get started. So we're going to just dive right in. I'm going to share my screen, and we are going to get this set up. The very first thing that I love is Flux Prompt Pro. It is a custom GPT that is free in the Prompt GPT library, which you just go over here to GPTs and you search it. And then you would pick in here Flux Prompt Pro, which you saw I've already done. Click on it. And here we go. We start right here. So I'm just going to start the chat. So the first thing I do when I'm doing AI images for somebody else is I need to get a really good descriptive sentence or sentences to describe how they look. Okay, so what I do by that is I use the Prompt Pro. I come in and I'm actually going to upload 2 images of my lovely client. And I'm going to say here, describe her hair and face in detail so that I can create a prompt for her image. And I press go. So these are some images that I got from her. I've already trained my AI twin, my AI image. So I've already done that. If you're looking for that information, somewhere on this video, you'll see a link on how to do that. So here you see it says, here's a detailed description of her face and hair, combining features from both images. So her hair is a rich, deep plum or burgundy shade, silky, well-maintained. I love that. Her color is a dimensional undertone, slightly hints of violet and red wine. Okay, so this is really, really specific. Her face is radiant and symmetrical. Excellent. We love to know that. Skin is smooth and appears well cared for, healthy glow, prominent cheekbones. So this is all really, really good stuff, but I wanted to make it less specific. Can you make this into 1 to 2 sentences with only the important information for my prompt in Flux? Right? Sometimes we have to get a little bit more detailed in the information so we can get it. So here it's saying woman with long, wavy, deep burgundy hair, parted on the side. Okay, so this is good. We're going to try this. Again, remember, it's called a playground. We play with AI. The second thing I like to do is once I have the description, I'm going to now upload another image. And this one is her standing on, or actually, this is some images of standing on a stage. This is what I'm trying to create for her, an image of her standing on a really big stage. The bigger, the better. And what I'm going to do is create a prompt using the description above and the images to create a woman standing on a big stage. All right, so because we're in Flux Prompt Pro, custom GPTs, if you don't know, basically have already been populated with some really important information in the back end. This Prompt Pro knows that I am looking to get prompting for my Flux, whether it be Flux LoRA or another one. So it is going to give me what is required to have the proper prompt for my Flux Pro. So here it says a confident woman with long, wavy, deep burgundy hair, parted to the side, stands in center stage, addressing captive audience. So the other thing I'm going to add to this is she also gave me an idea of what she wants to wear on this. So I'm going to come back and say, okay, add the clothing with this above prompt to make it complete. And then I'm going to paste in the information. So now it's going to take the description, then it's going to take the stage scene, and now it's going to take her clothing, and she had information about gold accents, a blazer, and jewelry. So we're going to just copy this first prompt, and I'm going to go over into my playground. Okay, so I already have, again, my trigger words and my path. And if this is beyond where you're at right now, don't worry, go find the other videos that explains what all of this are. I'm going to set my settings up. I like all of these, and I'm going to run and see what happens. The idea behind this is basically we're taking multiple different images, bringing them together with colors and jewelry and clothing, and creating a prompt that's going to be best related to her. I don't know what's going on here, but remember, this happens sometimes because it is AI. I'm not going to change anything, but I'm actually going to increase the number of photos so we can see a few more in action. So you always want to double check on your prompting. I literally just copy and paste it in there. I didn't read the full thing. So if I do find that it's not working so well, I will go in and take a look at it. So she has a deep berry satin button-up shirt. Again, it echoes the richness of her hair. These are cool. So we've got this one here. I don't love this because of course you see all of these images and a lot of them are her, which is always freaky. I do love how the picture of her is up here on the screen. It's suggesting that she's in a very big stage, you know, a keynote speaker. And again, I don't love how her hands are, and there's some still areas I need to fix on her face, but we're getting closer. So this one, again, not too bad. We're seeing men and women all dressed up here. I love that there's multiple screens. Again, it suggests that this is a very big theater. Okay, her hands are doing okay. She's got some red nail polish on there. I'm not 100% sure on that. And there's a few things about her face I'm not 100%. But again, I'm going to take this, download it just so I can take a look at it. And then here, this one, there's just way too many of her in there. So we don't necessarily want that one. And then I think this was the other one I haven't looked at. So again, you can see a lot of images of her, which is amazing. She's facing the opposite way. So this could suggest that there's more, maybe it's a round table stage and there's people over here. And, you know, the audience is diverse, which I love. There's a few that could look a little bit like her, but there's also people with long brown hair that are in the audience. Her hands look pretty good. She's got some green nail polish on this one. So you can see within the 4 images that I created using the same prompt and the same settings, we're giving AI some freedom to fill in the blanks. Okay. I always say that the more specific you can be, sometimes the better. The less specific you can be, sometimes the better, which is why it is a playground. We're not going to have the exact same settings. Even if I do another image set up for her, I can use in my description sentence and I can use some of the settings, but it might be different depending on the actual image that we're going for. So again, I don't love this one. I'm not sure how I feel about the face here. I do love the setting here. So we are going to just play. So I've downloaded a few there and I like how they have them set up. So we're going to keep that here. I'm going to keep the exact same prompt. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to change a few of these settings. Okay. So we're going to come back in here. I'm going to move up. And again, if you're like, what in the heck is she doing? Don't worry. You can go find my other images, my other videos, and you can see what I do in all of those. I also do have a document that breaks it all down for you, and that will be in the show notes as well. You can take a look at that and see if that's going to help you. If you're just brand new to imaging, this is not the place to start. You can see the greatness and how fun it is, but you need to first train your AI and move on from there. So, all right, let's take a look at these ones. So I really like this image here with the image of her here. It's not showing her here, so it's tending to suggest it's just a picture. There are a few too many lookalikes in the audience. Not sure I love that. Let's keep moving forward. This one's good. I'm not loving the body type on this at all for her specifically. She is much more athletic and thin than this. And there's a lot of her in the audience. So again, I'm going to have to check out that prompt, I think. Let's see this one. Okay, this one's good. Again, she's having a conversation. This image is not perfect, but it is suggesting a very big room, which I really do love. There are some areas that I'm going to change on her skin tone and her information. So again, this video is always about behind the scenes. You're going to walk with me as I go through this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at the prompt. A confident woman with long, wavy burgundy hair, parted at the side, stands center stage under the spotlight. Okay, so one thing I notice here is it doesn't say anything about, so I'm going to say holding plain black mic. All right, addressing a captivated, I'm going to put here diverse audience with men and women of all sizes and colors. So this helps if you ever find yourself seeing a lot of the same image in the audience. That's what we do there. She wears a sleek tailored black designer suit with gold accents and on the blazer buttons, trimmed, good. Hair color, cheekbones, good. Holding a microphone. Oh, there is one here saying holding a microphone. Interesting. I did not see that one. So we're just going to keep that in there. And we're going to go down, oops, to 1. I'm actually going to bring this scale up again. Don't worry if you don't know what I'm doing right now. This just gives you an idea of how I tweak and play and tweak and play and tweak and play. Honestly, it probably takes me a good 20 to 30 images to get one that I really, really love. And then there's a few other things I do before I offer them back to the client. And that's going to be for another video. But this just gives you an idea of how I go through all of this. So let's take a look here. All right. So still a lot of people in the audience that look like her. I might need to get a little bit more specific. I do like her outfit on this. I'm not loving her face. I feel like it's getting further away from what she looks like. Let's see here. This one, again, a few too many people over here look like her. There's also quite a few less people. This doesn't suggest that she's in a big cinema or theater. She's got a few too many wonky fingers going on here. So we're going to take that one out. These images don't look like her at all. So I would have to either Photoshop in something else. I do really like this outfit of hers. I think she looks good. She could be holding a clicky in her hand there. Her fingers are a little wonky here, but overall, this one's getting closer, definitely getting closer on this one. And then this one here, again, a big, beautiful audience. There are people up here on the stage though, so I'm not quite sure what this is, but I do love this outfit. This is looking pretty good, but I am still going to do some tweaking. So you can see how I work with different settings, different prompting. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 6, 6, 6. And then I'm going to come back down and we're going to run again. And again, I always say this is called a playground for a reason. We're playing and we're doing different options. We're trying different things. We're working on different ideas. And then we're going to see what comes up. Right, the atmosphere is cinematic, energy is levels. Okay, this one's interesting. So it definitely looks like this could be a bigger stage. I hate this though. And again, now I'm getting really particular. So this one, again, look at this. She's got 3 hands. That's always fun. Let's nick that one. We're coming in here. Wow, there's an identical twin sitting in the front row for her. Not okay. And then this one is, again, a little bit wrong in terms of body shape. So we're going to bypass on that one. So you can see how I'm trying to play with different things. I tend to do small tweaks and then I move and I do small tweaks again and then I move. And so it really becomes part of that play that I was talking about. And we want to make sure that we're going to play with it in different ways just to see what information comes up and what images come out. Now, let's say you're working on this, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to give one example. I'm going to download it. I'm going to show you how I can now take that image, go back to ChatGPT, and see how I can make improvements to the image. So let's see what comes up on this one. All right. So again, there's lots of her in the audience, and I don't love that. This one, her eyes are not quite where I want them to be. This one, you can't quite see the audience, but it does look like a pretty big stage. So, I guess you can create some imagination on this one. We're back again to her twin in the audience times 100. And this one's okay, but it's a little further out. Again, there's a few too many of her that look like her. This, you can't really read the writing. That is an AI thing. We are always trying to find workarounds for that. Okay, so let me just show you. I'm going to come back here. I'm going to upload one of the images that I just took. Okay, and downloads. And we're going to come into, let's do this one. Okay, so I'm going to say, I love this image. I want to make sure the audience is diverse in men and women who do not look like her. And make this stage feel bigger. What prompts can I use? All right, spelled some words there wrong. It's okay. Luckily, ChatGPT is smart enough to know my spelling mistakes. Okay, so it is taking it back down to a new prompt for me. So I'm going to copy that one and I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to replace. So I just copied, replaced. Remember, you're always keeping that trigger word in there. I'm going to keep the settings the same and we're just going to see what happens. So this is where it gets a little bit more about the play and trying and different things. So if you want that workbook guide that I have, definitely find it in the chat, in the comments, but also it's really just a matter of getting in there, playing with the different images. Okay, let's see how it takes up. Okay, so beautiful. There is definitely a lot more diversity in this crowd. You can see that it's big. There's people at the door that suggest that this goes all the way around. Okay. She doesn't have the shirt on anymore that she did want, which was the burgundy shirt, but I do really like this. I think it's a good representation of herself. There is, I think, 1 or 2 extra thumbs here, but again, being really particular here at this point, because now I'm trying to show you how I'm working this. Here we've got, different people in the background. This person's waving. That makes me find hilarious. There's an Eiffel Tower here. Again, not really sure, but overall, this is a pretty good image. I want to keep going. I want to keep trying different things. So let's keep going. Again, these ones are good. Diversity of people is there. There's a few people with her hair color. There's a nice big speaker microphone here, so it's just why she's standing here. I don't love the face as much, and there's some wonky stuff going on here. And then this one, I'm not sure what these guys are doing. Why aren't they listening to her? There's a lot of wonky words going on here. So again, this just goes to show you, as I'm trying to create one of these images for her, I am still going to continue to tweak and play and tweak and play. All right, so I'm going to try a few other things here. We're going to go down a little bit more and we're going to run it one more time. Let's see what happens. And then once I'm done here, I'm going to send her some information with these images and get some feedback on it. So that's the other thing that I like to do. I really try to get their feedback before I continue on with more images. Because if I don't get that connection, if I don't feel like that emotional connection to them, then there's no point in going beyond. All right, let's see. So face right out of the gates, not right here anymore. Outfit I love, hands are good, but not a fan. All right, this one's okay. Her rings are a little weird. A few people in the background. I'm not sure what they're, there must be something in the prompt. I'll have to go back to see about the Eiffel Tower. All right, this one is good. I like this one. You see the pictures here. You see that she is in a big cinema or big keynote speaker, not a big fan of the face. And let's take on this one here. Okay, this one's not terrible. I like this. Okay, there's no picture of her up here. There's a few people in the audience that have her hair color. Not terrible. I am going to download this one and see what she has to say. So just remember, it is all about the playground, right? We play with different prompting, we play with different settings, and we just keep practicing and practicing to see how it comes up. This is the best way to work this and have fun with it. And if you have any questions, let me know. If you want any of the documents that I've mentioned in this or the videos, look down on the comments or in the information, and I will see you in the next video.